Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Hey everyone, JT here. I wanted to add a bonus day to the Simplify Your Life Masterclass. I've been getting lots of questions about, you know, what's all, all these ahas that you've been getting from the week and how you can also make a quantum leap in your life, how you can really take your next step towards reaching your next level of greatness. So, what I wanted to do today was to bring on my good friend, Lewis. And Lewis and I go a few years back, but why I wanted to bring Lewis on was I've always been inspired by his story. And I think when you really listen to Lewis and listen to his powerful story, it will really show you of what's possible for you and your life when you make the decision to go all in. So whether you are tuning in live, whether you're catching the replay, I really want you to go all in, put the phone away, and just listen to Lewis's story. It's again one of the most heartfelt and transformational stories that I've come across. So again, welcome everyone, and thank you, Lewis, for joining me today.
Thank you so much for your invitation. It's for me an honor being here. Okay.
Yeah. So, Lewis, why don't I would love if you could give everyone a little bit of your story, like a little bit, maybe go back to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my life is pretty simple. I'm originally from Colombia. My wife and myself were, in Colombia working in different fields. She is a microbiologist there, and I used to be part of the Navy as an officer. And when we get married a few years later, so I noticed that my life all the time was, involved in risk, fighting different, crime in my country. And my wife got pregnant. So then after thinking a lot, I say, I think it's time to find a safest place and, a better future for my daughter, Valentina, who was coming. And my wife was 6 months of pregnancy, and we left Colombia and went to States. When you are in the military and face too many, difficult challenges, you feel that you are capable to face anything in your life, and to be honest, I didn't have any idea what I was getting into when I make this decision and follow my intuition of find a better place. And so in the States, we were living for about 4 years. My daughter was born there. My son, Mateo, was born there. And after 4 years of being, getting into the unknown, all this chaos and new culture, new language, new everything. So we were not able to stay in Florida, in the States, for different reasons. So I had the options to go back Colombia because 4 years passed by already, or I make the decision to continue exploring the unknown, right? So I said, one of the options is Canada. More unknown coming. The weather, Florida was a great weather for me. I was like at home. A lot of people speak Spanish in Florida. I just started exploring new opportunities in business there, and I felt comfortable because I didn't speak English at all. So all my business, all my friends were like if I were in Colombia. So coming to Canada was of unknown. So I came to Canada with my family again. My son was 10 months and my daughter was about 2 years. And we start here from zero. It was in 2009 when I came with my family again to start, from zero again and build a new life and, take all these pieces from the unknown and the chaos and put together and try to find the way to put these into order, right? To transform this into order. And now I'm working since a couple of years ago, the same field that I was working in Florida. I work in finance. I help people basically with investments, savings in general, and helping people in insurance in general. I do a couple of things more, but those are the main areas. And my wife, she is working right now with one of the biggest companies in the laboratory technician. She works in a toxicology department, and yeah, so that's my story basically.
Yeah, no, and what I really heard from that was just that you could really tell about your desire, right? Like this desire for something more, this desire to find an opportunity for, a better life for your family. And, you really, you could have come up with 100 reasons of why, having to move countries, not speaking the language, and all these roadblocks of when you were sort of faced, okay, do I go back to Colombia, do I go to Canada? But what really came from me was your desire for something better, and you embraced that uncertainty. You didn't know what was going to happen, but you kept moving forward, you kept going. So that really was a beautiful story. So thank you for sharing that with all of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So what I would love to do is to fast forward about 10 years from when you left. So you and I met in 2019 in July, and I would love for you. I'm not sure if you remember. I remember it like it's yesterday, and I think it just is a great story on how when we become open, that it's interesting what shows up in our life. Do you remember the day we met?
Yeah, sure. I remember that day. It was interesting because one of the things that I've been doing aside of my main job activity is driving for Uber. Yeah. So as a way to generate more income. For me, one of the priorities has been my kids. So being with them all the time with flexible schedules has been a priority because my wife has not that ability. So that day I was driving and I received a request and I went to a fancy place of the city. And it was far away. It was Ilderton, right? Ilderton.
Yeah.
And I picked up you and I saw you like, a really interesting guy and so simple, no fancy, but, with interesting ideas. And one of the things that I love, I enjoy a lot is talking with people, right? Mm-hmm. I like to encourage people to think and have a critical thinking about life and, open people, create a environment of trust that allows people to, express. And, I love that. And that was happening that day. But, it happened the opposite. You create environment and create that trust and make me express my feelings, my fears even. And around that conversation, I remember that I explained you that, I love my family, but sometimes I feel that I'm drained of energy and, too many things, a lot of thinking and let's say, preoccupations in life. And you did a challenge for me. You made a challenge for me that day. You say, Luis, take this $20. This $20 is just for you. Spend that money just for yourself. Enjoy it. And I accepted the challenge and I went, I drank a delicious coffee, Colombian coffee, and enjoyed some food. I think was a shawarma also. And I accepted the challenge. And since then, I've been following you. You mentioned that you were a coach. And you know what? I love potential topics about potential, human potential and develop of, your growth. And I love that concept about leadership and, spirituality, being in a really good shape is something that I've been passionate since a long time ago.
Yeah, no, and thank you for sharing it. And again, you remembering details that, are so vivid to me. And again, I take this picture sitting in your car. And what I really wanted to sort of draw everyone to is just this idea of, we've been conditioned to think that things are luck or that are coincidence. But I just want you to think of all these, and this is a conversation Lewis and I have had at other times, is all these events that had to happen for us to connect that day. So I had just sold my old Honda Civic to my brother. So I didn't have a car because Alicia was out of town. And then I call an Uber, which Lewis just happens to pick up. He picks me up. We start talking, and he starts sharing with me how he really loves Tony Robbins and Brendon Burchard. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, he's into personal growth. So we start having these conversations.
Yeah.
And then that 20-minute ride, I was completely blown away listening to your story and hearing your journey from Colombia and your background in the military. And simply there, when I was listening, I could just hear. And then simply, that opportunity to just brighten your day. I just thought, here's this, just take this and do something for yourself. And I remember the last thing I said to you in the car was, hey, if you're into personal growth, you should join my Facebook community.
Yeah, sure.
And then you join. I'm on the bus to Toronto, and it's going there. And then, from that one interaction, that one car ride, we've developed this beautiful friendship, right? Where it's more than a friendship. I would say it's like a brotherhood. So
yeah, sure, it is.
Yeah. So let's fast forward. So again, we stayed connected from that time in July 2019, and we started again diving a little bit deeper in, and we started exploring more of what you wanted. And then we had a conversation around thinking into results. So what I would love to know from you and for you to share is, what got you first interested in the idea of starting to work together and starting to study thinking into results and bring it into your life?
Okay, so thank you. That's a really good question, right? So as I mentioned it, I'm in financial service business, and one of my great goals is a vision 10 years from now. So one of my highest desire is helping a lot of people, but I understand that in order to do that, I need to build a team. And I have been trying and building a team, right? Building a team, not, I'm doing good, serving people with my services, but if I want to take my vision to that level, so building a team is absolutely vital. So I was saying, thinking into result is a great program. But you start reasoning, this is too expensive, so you shouldn't spend that money, because you can use that money with that for other purposes, right? And but I say now let's perspective play a good role in this reasoning action, right? So perspective says, Luis, that's not one perspective. But what about the other perspective? You have been doing the same for years. And so far, you are alone, basically, as a team, right? So what about if you do something different that not necessarily sounds logic? You have been acting in a logic way for these years, and you are, seeing the same results. What not try this unlogic path and see what is going to be the results, And then, so you say, yeah, I want it, but I don't have the money. So how can I do it? And I start thinking, and I have to be honest, you, since the beginning, when I joined to the community, I noticed your real interest on serving and helping me. Definitely, that is something that I really appreciate, because you find too many information outside. You find too many people offering too many things. But at the end of the day, you join to something is because you trust that person, that community, right? So I said, there is no doubt that this is true. There is no doubt that JT has a real interest in helping me. And I say, what he is doing, I took that, in a point of view, said, these if I join to the community, what I'm doing is stretching my mind, because thinking of that amount of money definitely is going to help me to stretch out my mind. So, but what I can do it. So I need money fast. I was driving for Uber and I said, you know, I'm going to propose JT if I can join to the community and start paying in a weekly basis until I paid out the fees deposit. And yeah, so I started working long hours with Uber to get the money faster and to keep the rest of the income coming, you know, protected for my needs. And yeah, that was how happened. So I did ask you the opportunity to let me, you know, pay you my deposit in a monthly weekends, and until I complete the fees deposit. Then I say, you know, I want to join and I want to pay in a monthly basis. And since then, um, you know, the trip has been amazing since then. So it's really amazing. So what I've seen here and in this community, in this program, the environment, the people, the teaching definitely has been beyond my expectations. I can feel it, the way that I'm, you know, thinking, my perspective about my business, everything has been changing since then. And so I'm so happy for what is coming. You know, the best is coming. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's such again, such a great story, and I definitely want to hear a little bit more about it. But before that, I really like how you were talking about how the logic, right? And that's where, and that's one of the things that keeps people stuck, right? And I acknowledge you for having that awareness, right? Like logic says, okay, this doesn't make sense, right? Like, you know, investing this money into myself, like, is not logical. But I love the fact that you took that gift of saying, yeah, but the logic is creating my current results. And for
Mhm.
me to create different in my life, for me to really hit that next level of growth, to really stretch my mind, right, to get me to my goals and what I truly want, then I have to challenge myself to do the logical. And
Sure.
that's something you've told me from the get-go. And doing the illogical, right? The logical says go after safety and comfort, right? The old comfort zone. But when you do the illogical, what happens is you tap into another part of your mind, right? You tap into that subconscious part of your mind. And that's what the early Greeks referred to as your heart. And what happens is when you tap into your heart, right? Not your physical heart, but that emotional heart, and you start to really pursue what you want in life and what you really, really want in life, then that moves mountains, right? So that really, so thank you for sharing that. One thing I would love to know a little bit more was, as you were in this process, right? Like you said, you held yourself accountable, right? You didn't start the program. You asked me, can I start sending you money just to hold me accountable, just as a way? So that speaks to your commitment there, right? You weren't starting anything. You were just like, I'm going, and that commitment. But what I would love to do is, as you were doing that, was it let's say, the path to get you there? There were some challenges that came up over that period. And what I would
Yeah.
love, would you be, could you share some of the challenges that came up as you were, quote unquote, finding the money?
Yeah, no, definitely. Too many challenges. Too many challenges. You know, everything, it seems that everything was, you know, trying to pull me down and don't let me get out. You know,
Yeah.
one of the challenges was that my wife quit her job
Yeah.
and she was not working like for 2 months
Yeah.
during this period of time. And yeah, so it was really hard for me, but still I just continue, right? And then I had an accident. I got into an accident one night that I was driving, and I was super tired, and I got into an accident. I didn't crash any car. I just, you know, had a tire, uh, you know, accident, and I was unable to move the car, and I have to call a town, a car to take my car to home. So I have to wait until I fix my tire. And I would say that those were the biggest challenges in terms of how to, um, you know, get the money. And also along the way, you know, always the doubt. always the doubt that your logic, your logic, I think it doesn't, Luis, I think it doesn't make any sense. But one of the things that worked for me was that when we have this initial conversation, you said, Luis, since the moment that you put your fears down payment, everything is going to start changing. And it did happen. I do believe you, and I believe in your belief that things were going to change, because I didn't have the time, that capacity to believe, because I didn't experience that belief, right? So, but I believe in your belief. And also, I have to say that I saw the other guys that joined to the program, Dave and Travis, and I saw something really different on these people, because we have been together for about a year into your community. And then when Dave get into the program and I start noticing this guy is not the same guy. Something is happening here. So I said, I wanted that too. I want that too. And then Travis, and then so it's the same. So I saw Travis, Travis is in a different level, definitely. So I want that too for me. Those things, like I try to focus on the things that reinforce my belief, not on the things that enforce my negativity or my doubt, and yeah, those were basically the challenges that I faced.
Yeah, no, and thank you for, again, being so honest and being so vulnerable about sharing it. And what I really loved that you shared was this power of belief. And that is why I believe that coaches, everyone needs a coach or mentor, right? And coaches and mentors are simply people that, like, I'll give you the analogy of a ladder, right? They are a couple rungs ahead of you on the ladder. And what they do, like you mentioned, is they see your potential. They see all your strengths, all your gifts, all your talents. And what they do is they see it in you, and they see this potential, and they believe in you. And what they do is they raise up your belief, right? That we sometimes, don't see in ourselves. And then that's what they do, right? My coach, right? My mentor, Bob, he sees something, right? And he pulls me up. I see you, right? And pull you up, and same, right? So that is the value of coaches and mentors, right? They just, sure. they raise our belief. Okay. So again, you were talking about what made you say yes and what made you want to jump in. What have you noticed? So since you started integrating the daily study, and you've, obviously you've always been very ambitious, you're driven, you're open-minded, right? Like, I mean, I can only imagine some of the challenges you've faced since leaving Columbia. But what are the changes that, are there certain changes that you've noticed either personally or professionally since you started studying Think Into Results and you integrated the daily study into your life?
Do you mean professionally in terms of my business, or personally?
Both. I'll leave it open-ended.
Okay, so let's go personally. I think one of the most important things for myself is the idea of being responsible. I do believe in a God that created us, right? Sometimes we tend to believe that God, is the one who is responsible for everything, in our life. So for the good, especially. But now I do believe that definitely, God created us with a great sense of responsibility, with a great potential, right? So I was in a conversation with somebody these days, and he said, let's think realistically. I said, I don't like realistic goals. I definitely don't believe in that anymore, because I can create my circumstances, because I create the circumstances that I'm facing right now. And, I'm not going to blame anybody, not even God. I do believe that the same way that I create my circumstances, I can change it, and now that's a sense of responsibility for me. It's not a luxury for me, knowing that we have this great, potential, those higher you know, things like, you know, will, imagination, you know, intuition, perspective, those faculties, and don't be responsible not only to develop, but use properly. So that is really important for me. That empowerment, sense of responsibility. And you know what? I said, as I told you, I think it's not a luxury, it's a responsibility to not only help ourselves, but help other people to wake up and, you know, take control of your life. That whatever you believe, God is happy if you use it for your good. So do it. It's the best way you can worship your God or God, you know, and that's really important for me. And in terms of business, definitely I can say that, you know, people is way open to listen me, you know, and they, you know, answer my phone calls, a lot of people willing to having a conversation with me, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And one of the things that definitely has increased significantly in my business is people that has been willing to trust me their money. You know, it's not easy nowadays with this economy that people say, you know, Luis, here there are $100,000 to invest with you. There is $50,000 to invest with you. You know, there is whatever amount of money, even whatever, you know, it doesn't matter the amount, but having this opportunity that people trust on me has been amazing, amazing. And my level of commitment to serve these people professionally and with integrity definitely is a priority. So, and again, I know that the best things are coming soon.
Yeah. Well, and again, so many good things there. I love that, you were sharing about responsibility and being of service, right? Is something that I've always admired about you is what a man of character and integrity you are. But one shift that I've noticed, and you mentioned it, is how, the conversations you're having are differently, right? The clients that you're attracting to you, the prospective clients, right, that want to have conversations with you about because, they have trust in you. And what has happened, right, is through doing the work and you committing to doing the work through the daily study, that your level of calm and confidence is completely right. Like there's that, anyone that gets around you knows what a big heart you have. And now that calm and confidence is there, like it's, I'm my creator, right? Like I create my circumstances, which I love. So thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So here is the last thing I would love to ask you and seek your input in. So what would you say to someone who's sitting on the fence right now? They watch the Chalk Talks on a daily basis, right? Or they watch them fairly consistently. They watch the master classes and they get really enthused and really excited about, creating this vision. And then they get hung up on the money, right? About investing the time and energy in there, which is common, right? For many people. And they start to play that doubt and worry comes out. They start to go, should I or shouldn't I? And all of a sudden that conscious part of the mind starts to rationalize why you shouldn't do it and why this isn't logical. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the support. What would you say to that person right now who wants to jump, who wants to make a big leap in their life, but they're, it just doesn't, again, that rational part, the logical mind comes in. What would you say to that person based on what you know now?
Okay, that's a good question, because I can speak from my own experience, right? And I would say that when you like something, when you want to get into something, but you don't join it, or you don't make that decision, you don't have that determination, 90% of the times is because of fear. Definitely is fear. It could be a 10% that you don't trust the source of that information, but definitely if you are in a 90% that if you completely believe that this is what you want and you don't make the decision, is because of fear. And I would say that just listen to yourself, right? Don't stay just with the point of view that says, this is not logical, this is crazy, you are not responsible with your decisions. Give it the opportunity to listen to the other perspectives. And, you know, give the opportunity, give the chance to that intuition, you know. And just ask yourself, you know, when you want to find the best of other people and get familiar with somebody, you ask questions, right? And ask good questions to other people. So ask the same questions for yourself. Like, you know, Luis, if you want to take this vision to the next level, if you want to, you know, get that freedom that you desire, freedom of share time with your family, you know, that you know, spend time with the people that needs a lot of you. If you want to help a lot of people, if you want, you know, face struggles in financially or emotionally, or you know, you need to give you the opportunity to think in a different point of views, and then just trust. When you make the decision, I'm in, as I told you that day, I'm in. So you will find automatically ideas that start, you know, coming into your mind, how you are going to solve that problem. So once you make the decision, I'm in, the solution is there. You need to just find it every single moment, every single day. And things are going to happen, you know, and just trust that you're gonna find the solution. You're gonna find a way to assume these great you know, challenge that is coming into this program, this amazing program. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and what I really love is that idea that you were sharing, that once you make what I like to call a committed decision, right? Or as my mentor says, irrevocable decision. As you said, I'm in, and then you say, how can I, right? And that's successful people. Successful people have problems too. They just focus on how can I solve the problem? And that's what I wanted to acknowledge you for, brother, is your commitment to keeping your word, your willingness to persist in spite of challenges and obstacles has been such an inspiring story for me to watch. And I just wanted to thank you for allowing me to guide and mentor you along your journey. And I am so enthused to see what the future has in store for you, because you are a great testament to the power of this work. So thank you very much, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So folks, you heard it. Okay. Again, if I've taken anything learning from my good friend Luis and my brother from another mother, it's, hey, when you want it, you will find a way. Simple as that. So if anyone wants to get in contact with Luis, can they feel free to reach out to you?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So if you have any questions, or you want to, you know, get to know Luis, reach out to him. I'll tag him there. And if you want to finally go all in like Luis has and transform your personal life, your professional life, send me a message, okay? And I'll share with you, and I'll help you get started. We'll get started right away and start helping you make that next quantum leap in your life. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll chat soon.